Hello. So I was asked this question where someone was asking what should their diet look like. So I thought the best way to go about it is show them what I eat in a day because obviously that's what I think you should be doing. So today I've picked Sunday, which is probably my worst day of the week really because I tend to fast a lot on the weekend. So it doesn't really represent what I eat every single day. But I think it's a good thing to do to make sure that I am eating enough protein and fibre. So I will put a count on the screen as we go throughout the day and just hopefully see that I meet all the targets that I set out to do. So that's what it's going to be. And it's already started today. It is about 10 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't really intro the video because we had to do a run. So I'll overlay the footage now. So we went for just over a 5K run this morning. And I've already had one coffee. So I'll put the video in to show the proof. But the whole plan for today is to have some form of lunch. I don't know where. Probably have another 1 or 2 coffees and then have a roast dinner. So I'll be curious to see as to whether I actually do hit the target of about 2 grams per kilo of protein and about 30 grams per day of fibre. They're the 2 main macronutrients for me. So I'll see how it goes. So change of plan. I'm having some form of brunch before we go out. So it is now 11:15. So like I said, I've had one coffee this morning at 9:30. And then this is the first type of food I've had since last night. It was actually a bit later last night, wasn't it? About 7 o'clock in the evening, 7, half 7, which is a bit later than normal. But I will show you what I'm having for breakfast. So I've got 2 pieces of sourdough, about 15 grams of hummus. There's a lot of veg on there. So there's sweet corn, there's cavallonero, there's half a large avocado. There's fermented foods. So you've got kimchi. No, I haven't. I've got sauerkraut and I've got miso, mushrooms, and I'm trying to think what else. Pomegranate. Yeah, I'm obviously not the chef of this. And then I have also a banana because I've done the run this morning. This is the type of breakfast that I genuinely will have every single day. And I've been having this breakfast now for at least, must be 2 years, 2, 3 years. Before then it was more of an omelette, but now we are focusing mainly on the protein and fibre, which like I said, I'll be doing a running total throughout the day. So I'll work out how much is on this. Oh yeah, 2 duck eggs as well. That's a bit different. I normally just have normal eggs, but we went to a farm shop the other day and ended up having a few duck eggs on this one. So yeah, but the main focus of my meals now is to try and balance as many vitamins and minerals as I can within the meal so that I don't need to go and waste my money on all these multivitamins, which I do feel like they are a large waste of money because you can't get it from a whole food diet. So yeah, I'll have this, and then the next time I'll see it, we'll probably be having another coffee, but I'll go into how many coffees I have anyway later on. So like I said at the beginning, it's probably not the most ideal day for me to record what I eat in a normal day, but you know, I've got to keep it real as I can. So I'm going to overlay footage because we just went on a walk. I think it was about 3 to 4 miles, and I had coffee number 2, and that was probably, again, maybe around 1 o'clock. I'm not too sure. It is now, I think, 3:30. Third coffee of the day. So again, I'm going to do the running count on protein and fibre, but 3 coffees. So I've had about 360 milligrams of caffeine, which I advise no one to go above 400, especially if you've got any heart issues within the family or personal heart issues and the anxiety as well, because a lot of people don't cope with it. I mean, it is a bit late on in the day to have caffeine, but I'm one of them people who supposedly it doesn't affect. I get to clear it quite a lot, so it doesn't really affect sleep, but I haven't really given it much of a try without before a certain time. So I normally say to people 12 o'clock, but I've also got a banana. So it's a second banana of the day. So I've only had 2 bananas. I've had a bit of brunch and I've had 3 coffees. Well, third coffee now. I've got a roast dinner this evening, which will be about 6 o'clock. And for a rare, or as a rarity, I think I've got a dessert as well, which is homemade. I think it's like dates and something else, which, again, something I don't tend to have. But I was gonna think, oh, should I remove it from the vlog or the video? And I said, no, I'll have to keep it in. But it's a genuine Sunday. And I think that's where a lot of my muscle growth sort of declines because from my perception anyway, I don't think I eat enough protein. I don't feel as though I carry on all the things I do within the week, but it's normally in the opposite way. People normally overeat, overindulge. Exercise today, it's my easiest day of the week. So I've done about 5 kilometers run. I've ended up doing maybe 4 or 5 miles as a walk. So it's like my recovery day, active recovery if you want to call it that. And then the rest of the week, it's all about muscle building, zone 2, VO2 max, all them things that I do. So yeah, it'll be very, very interesting to see how much protein, how much fiber I've had by the end of the day. So in the meantime, I'm going to go and do some editing on this video, and then I'm going to do a YouTube live, which I've been doing more and more recently. Get heckled for about 60 minutes. Some people actually do ask some good questions, but you know, you've got to take it the rough with the smooth. So I've done a running total of today, as I've been going through, focusing on the main 2 macronutrients being protein and fiber, and I'll overlay what I had for dinner. So that was a roast dinner, lamb roast, and then as a one-off, I actually had the dessert, which was a homemade, I think it was sticky toffee pudding or something similar to it anyway, with vegan ice cream because I can't have dairy. And the running total actually surprised me. I calculated before I come on to do the outro, and it was 45 grams of fiber and 112 grams of protein. So the fiber is really good. Like I said, you should be aiming for at least 30 grams a day. Don't do that if it's from nothing. So my body is well adapted to fiber in this extent. So that was a really average day for me, considering that I only had breakfast, I had 3 coffees, I had an evening meal, I did have a dessert. So normally I would have an extra meal within there, and it would be normally some form of like lean meat with rice, a bit of veg, etc. But the thing that I did underdo today, which is to be expected really, was the protein. And like I said, I'm fearful that I'm not getting enough on the weekend. So I got 112 grams, which worked out about 1.4 grams per kilo, which ideally should be at least 1.6, but I should be really going for the 2 grams per kilo based on how I train and all them things. So I should have really been hitting 156 grams of protein today. I would have hit that if I would have had a third meal, which I normally do have in the week. But on the weekend, like I said, I just do a lot of things. So today it was a run for the run club, and then I went for a big long walk. I don't tend to eat in between them periods. Sometimes I even go without the breakfast, which I won't have a meal then until maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that is something I need to focus on if I am to improve muscle mass. But it was more interesting doing a more casual style of video. And I feel like the next few videos that I am doing is going to be either me in the gym, me doing other things, and just trying to discuss how I approach the science. And hopefully that aligns better with the audience, as opposed to me just sitting there going through papers and saying, this is what this says, this is how you should go about it. So yeah, I underdone the protein today. Fiber is about where it would be on an average day. Coffee, in the last week I've only had 2 a day. Today it was 3 because I enjoy coffees that much, but I still was under the 400 milligrams that I would advise not to go over anyway. So like I said, this video was prompted by a comment. If you do have any other video suggestions, leave them on the bottom of this video or any other post that I put up. If you've got this far, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.